Top Trump economic advisor Gary Cohn is leaving the White House after breaking with President Trump on trade policy. Cohn, the director of the National Economic Council, has been the leading internal opponent to the president's planned tariffs on imports of steel and aluminum. He's tried to orchestrate an 11th-hour effort to push Trump to reverse course. President Trump has resisted those efforts and reiterated yesterday that he is imposing the tariffs in the coming days.
WCCO's chief political reporter Pat Kessler joins us live from the Capitol. Pat, another high-profile departure for the Trump administration. And this one may have had some repercussions on Wall Street.
Yeah, this is something that Wall Street is saying that Gary Cohn leaving the White House could actually have an effect. Wall Street could lose many, many points today. We have to go through this whole day. Just the thought of him leaving, the threat of him resigning a few months ago, caused the stock market to dip 300 to 400 points. So this is going to be important. But to the tariffs itself, they're saying something that is really important, that this was a fight in the White House between tariffs or free trade. And tariffs actually won over free trade. So this is a fight that we continue to see every single day in the White House. Gary Cohn leaving is a really, really big deal, and a line of succession that continues to go in this White House that people describe as in chaos.
The president's back at it on Twitter this morning, Pat, saying from Bush 1 to present, our country has lost more than 55,000 factories, 6 million manufacturing jobs, and accumulated trade deficits of more than $12 trillion. Last year, we had a trade deficit of almost $800 billion. Bad policies and leadership must win again. Pat, what do you think about this? The president's certainly defending his push for tariffs despite a lot of pressure within his own party.
Well, let's take a really close look at this. There are a lot of people, including many people in Minnesota, miners in northern Minnesota, who thinks tariffs are a really good idea, that it would help increase the steel industry, increase some of the sales of steel, like iron ore right here in Minnesota for exports. And that is true, but it is not going to increase jobs as much as people think. You may increase it by 50,000 jobs, I should say, but you may lose 150,000 jobs because of it, because of people who will lose their jobs in other industries. The president's talking about manufacturing going away, and he's right, but it's not all because of tariffs, and it's not all because of trade deficits. It's because the country is moving on. It's mechanizing. There are new jobs. There are jobs lost. There are new jobs found. So it's much, much more complicated. But I do think that the president getting a lot of criticism for this, you got to take a much closer look, because there's a lot of people who think he's doing the right thing.
This next question is too weird. You want to do it?
Pat, the president is being sued by a porn star.
Come on now. That can't be true.
It's, let me check. And it's true. Stormy Daniels. Non-disclosure agreement signed 2 months before the election.
Right.
Oh, my
She
gosh.
says the president himself didn't sign it, so she's not bound to it.
Right.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a porn star.
Thank God. Yep.
And I'm not the president, so I really have no insight on any of these things.
I just do the weather here, Pat, so you guys.
What is happening?
Well, as we've noted before, in any other presidency, if this was President Obama, President Bush, President Clinton, this would be the biggest story in America for months and years, and would spark perhaps an impeachment like what happened with President Clinton. Now, very interesting, if you read this lawsuit that was filed, my favorite part is that when they paid the hush money to the porn star, Stormy Daniels is her stage name, they're calling them in this lawsuit, Dennis Dennison, DD, is Donald Trump, and Peggy Peterson, PP, is Stormy Daniels. So there's all sorts of different layers here. Read it just for the entertainment, because I don't know where all of this is going. There's chaos everywhere, and if this is true, as many people say it is, this is only the beginning, and the president could be deposed in a serious court trial.
Wow. What a time to be alive. Thank you, Pat. We'll see your reports coming up at 5 and 6.